So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever this is. This is Match Bailey alongside the one and only Micwise
Yo, yo.
and the one and only Doe Boi.
Good night, good freaks.
And this is another episode of Retrospect Reviews. And in this case, it's going to be a review of probably one of the best hip hop albums, or I should say albums, period, of the 1990s. Of course, we're talking about Mobb Deep's second studio album, I should say, The Infamous. Just before we even delve into Mobb Deep's history, right? Time of this recording, Bronx rapper by the name of Fred the Godson passed away. Age 26, I believe it was, right? Age 26.
35.
Due to 35, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 36. Due to the coronavirus, man.
Mm.
Yeah, we like literally got the news like about a few hours ago. Um, and I would just say, just right off the bat, I haven't listened to all of his stuff. I mean, I did hear him on a few tracks, like a few collabs though. But the one album I really dug from him actually was a collaboration that put out last year with Joel Ortiz and the Heatmakers called Gorilla Glue. Yeah, I actually really dug the hell out of that mixtape actually. Yeah. He's ashamed now that because of his death. Now I want to go back and listen to his other stuff as well. But it is what it is, man. But you know, I mean, rest in peace to Freddie Godson. I mean, as we spoke about earlier, Doughboy, he had asthma before. Well, sorry, he does have asthma. He did have asthma. Sorry. Yeah. So coupled with the coronavirus, that was crazy. But yeah,
Yeah.
not much I could say. Well, I know you guys probably know a lot more about him and his music. Um, so if you all have anything you all want to say about him, just take it away.
Um, Fred, you could see when you scroll through Twitter and you see the people who posted about him is basically he didn't get the amount of fan love that a lot of other rappers who passed got,
Right.
but you scroll through some of the names and you see some of the names who would tweet about him, and you see all the respected MCs, from Crooked Eye, Lloyd Banks, Ortiz. He's one rapper who was respected by all the rappers. He's
Right.
basically a rapper's rapper, and it's a shame that more people didn't get to know him while he was alive, because
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was, in terms of wordplay, metaphors, punchlines, like he could go up there, he could go toe to toe with the best. Period.
Right.
Basically,
And he did, man. He did.
He did, yeah, he did. He did. Song after song, mixtape after mixtape, you could hear it. So it's a shame what happened, and
Mhm.
condolences to his family, friends, and fans.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate to say, but hopefully now more people after his passing will get to appreciate his greatness. So rest in peace, Fred.
Yeah, man. Doughboy, anything you wanna weigh in on Freddie Godson?
Yeah. As I was explaining to you all earlier, um, I follow him on Instagram, and when he announced he had corona, I knew about his health history with the asthma, and just said that not a good combination. Respiratory disease, on top of chronic respiratory ailment,
Mm-hmm.
don't really sound too right. Um, so I was looking for the best, but I was medical terms. I know it could turn kind of shitty.
Right.
Um, then then the situation end up with he showing signs of improvement, but his kidney failed.
Mm-hmm.
Like yo, this thing looking kind of iffy. And then to hear that how he died, it it punched the hip hop world because, as Mike said, the man wordplay was on par. He's one of them that respect and look up to that weaving at the bars. So like real metaphors, real punches. That's Fred. and to see he was, as Fat Joe played, he was one of the last Mohicans for this era, being in the age group rappers that want to just forget about lyricism and aim for the easy target, which is catchy tracks.
Mhm.
Um, it just a hit to the game. Um, Condolences to his and his family and friends.
Right, right, right. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, not much more we could see though. I mean, yeah, rest in peace to Fred the Godson. Your lyricism, I mean, your presence alone will live on in the hip hop game, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now with that being said, now we can finally jump into the review here, basically. Well, sorry, before we get to the infamous review, I just want to talk briefly about history with Mobb Deep, right? So the ironic thing is, I haven't like my true introduction to Mobb Deep, ironically, was with a particular track of their fourth album, Murder Music. One that's, I mean, it was a song that I could not escape because it was just all over the radio, called Quiet Storm. That literally was my official introduction to Mobb Deep, right? So it's only after a while I found out that not only was that they keep its fourth album, but also that they were doing stuff over the years now. So it's only later on that I checked out the debut album Juvenile Hell, and then I learned a lot more about Havoc and Prodigy, right? You know what I mean? Those are the two that make up Mobb Deep, right? Initially, the stage name was the Poetical Prophets, but they decided to call themselves Mobb Deep around the time when they were signed to Fort and Broadway Records, right? And then they dropped the first album, which is Juvenile Hell, back in 1993,
Mm-hmm.
which was, I mean, as a debut album, it's fairly decent. I mean, it is what it is, not as grand as, say, well, the infamous, which we're going to talk about, but you could see like early signs
Havoc
of,
hate that
oh,
album.
this is where this is where they leading up to. Oh, serious? Havoc hated.
Yeah, Havoc hate that album.
Yeah.
What
People
you
don't
think?
really
Because the
appreciate
rhymes
that.
were too amateur or something, or what?
No, he said at home they didn't find the song yet. Now, so when he and Prodigy talking about the album, they just say that was the stillborn. The firstborn is infamous.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. Though. I mean, like I say, it's not terrible album, but like you could tell, okay, they were starting to find themselves like, oh well, this is the style. We're trying to be hardcore, but we don't want to be too hardcore because we want people to hear we shit, but it kind of
Mm.
didn't play out that way either. And because the album itself didn't sell enough records, sorry, didn't sell enough copies, they were dropped from the label, right? So the next label they jumped onto was Loud Records, right? That will be the home of, like Wu Tang Clan, for example. And,
Mm-hmm.
we'll bring up the Wu very soon. We'll bring them up very soon. Um, and then from there, well, of course, they dropped the Infamous, which I listened to like after, like way after the fact. Funny thing is, like how I really found out about the existence of this album was a little magazine called The Source. Remember them?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember they had this article which was their top 100 hip hop albums of all time list, right? And right there was Mobb Deep's Infamous. So I was like, okay, what's this album? I check it out. Mine was blown. I love the production. I love the lyrics. I just love the dark aesthetic of it. You know what I mean? And I was just sold from that point on. And it was only later on that I listened to Hell on Earth, which I guess this is what we could probably argue about. A lot of people find is, to me, I think is right up there with Infamous, but many people, like some fans, would argue that this is their best work.
Mm.
Uh,
And
yeah.
I think I understand why. I think the reason being is because a Havoc way, like lyricism wise and production wise, but man stepped up, but
Now, well, remember he did not come off of the infamous name.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So everybody in a good creative place again, hype and whatnot. So I could understand that. But to
Yeah.
me, that album is a good album, but I rate it real low.
How come? How come?
Um, it's just the curse of the perfect album groups now. When you drop your classic album, the album that does follow it, that'll be so subpar.
Ah, yeah. I get where you're coming from. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that like Jay-Z Blueprint and Blueprint 2.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jay-Z
Oh yeah.
Reasonable Doubt and in my lifetime.
Yeah,
In
in my
my
lifetime.
lifetime was very dope. I don't know where
Yeah,
the
it
in
was,
my
but it
lifetime
wasn't
plan.
Reasonable Doubt.
That's
But
the
it
thing.
wasn't Reasonable Doubt
Take off
level.
two songs from volume one and is right there with reasonable doubt.
What two songs were the one
Which
with
one?
two
Sun,
shows?
No, the
sunshine,
commercial hits. Yes, Sunshine is one. Yes.
sunshine, and it's an next stupid one too. Take off them two
What was
songs and you
like?
have Streets is
I
Like
know
you
what
be a
boys like.
real
Streets is
generous. You be a
watching.
real,
Streets is watching. Lucky me. You must love me. Where I'm from.
you
A
be a
million and
real
one questions.
generous. It's a real fillers on the album. Man.
Nah, nah, nah,
That
nah,
track
nah.
with
You
Diddy and Lil Kim,
Look. Maybe in
garbage.
retrospect, in retrospect, it is a
two
really good album.
songs.
Yeah.
Two songs is a hella dope album. You know what is Jay Z put blight on his own album when he said he don't like them because of them two songs, and then everybody want to follow Jay Z and say, yeah, Jay, that album was trash. Like,
That's
no,
trash.
take off two songs off the album, and
No,
that
I
is the
like the
album
album.
that could
I ain't
stand up
seen
with
that
his.
whole the album is booty. I ain't seen the album booty, but it's a real fillers like.
Nah, 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 nah. Two songs is not real fillers, but I would put back to the Mobb Deep
Mhm.
discussion. I find Hell on Earth and Murder Music was worthy of coming after Infamous.
Yeah, yeah. I would see that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, well, I can understand why some people regard Hell on Earth as a better, mean compared to the Infamous. Like I say, because of Havoc's lyricism, how that stepped up, and then of course the production, where
Yeah.
he just drew from like a lot of like soul music and just I mean like Judy Patry, for example, like just taking the theme song to
Scarface.
Scarface
Yeah.
and mixing the same drums from Tribe Called Quest with the Applebaum though. Like every time I hear that beat, I'm like, wow, how come nobody else ever did that before though? You know what I mean? And you just get
Yeah,
like, hey,
G.
it's cool.
Straight up.
Yeah, I think another thing that made Helena so interesting was their beef basically with Tupac.
Uh,
Hmm.
Kind of in a way,
uh,
because the
I
second
have
track
a
drop a
very
gem on them.
unpopular opinion
All right.
about that.
All right. Well, before we get to that though, okay, yeah, like
Yeah.
I didn't even know about till after the fact though. Like the track "Drop a Gem on Them," right, which is the second track, was literally like a straight up diss to Partner because Pac at the time kind of assumed that that moment when he was at the studio and he got shot. You know what I mean? He believed it on Biggie and his cohorts basically. So you just assume, oh, it's just some East Coast folk that did that now. So Mobb Deep get call out. It's still one of the most brutal diss tracks ever heard in my life. Hit him up, and then
that
the
that track is
Prodigy.
so overrated. Oh God.
No, but it just no. The reason why I call it like the most brutal,
I,
but
I
because
love Pac, but he right. Like Hit 'em Up is very overrated. Against All Odds was a much better this, but continue.
yeah. But this one was just like dog, like cause calm down, calm down. He just was lashing out on like everybody. At least that how it seemed like to me now. So
Yeah.
Mob Deep was like, oh, you calling me and you calling Nas, you calling Queensbridge out and this,
That
okay,
like
and
the only
boom, the
thing that
gym.
was like people I guess with hit 'em up that they get offended with is like yo yeah Prodigy you are leukemia you shouldn't be beefing people like oh okay you're making it personal with me now but
Yeah.
talking about my ailments.
Yeah, well, but yeah, yes, and one thing I didn't know about till later on is actually around the time when Tupac died, Drop a Gem on him actually was on radio, and then Mobb Deep was like, yo, just pull that song off a radio, just out of respect for Tupac's family and friends and whatnot. but they still
Yeah.
added to the album because I mean, songs still hard. I
No,
mean,
the
I
album
think
was out. It was already did already get one of them, yeah, now them
Pressed up
feelers.
and
Yeah,
shit.
it already was pressed there. So they
oh,
couldn't have
okay, okay,
pull it back. Yeah, they couldn't have pull it back.
right, right, right. Okay, 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 right. So just want to talk quickly about murder music, and then we'll just jump to you guys' history on
This
Mobb
is
Deep. Don't worry, you're
Mobb
gonna get
Deep's
the album.
second best album, hands down. The realness should be the anthem for Queensbridge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The
Um,
end.
no, but like I say, oh yeah, well, as I bring up that, the realist though, Cool G Rap's first, yo, and this
One
is
of
me,
the goats with a goat.
yeah, this is me literally listening to this album like a couple days ago, because yeah, I had to just run through the discography, because there's actually
Don't
quite a lot of
forget
albums that I didn't
Alchemist.
check.
Alchemist on the beats.
Yes, yes, yes. Alchemist came through with some yeah, with that beat as well too, came through with some great instrumentation as well too. Havoc did his
That
thing
the
as
first
well.
beat he ever sell to anybody. That's his first placement.
Oh,
He
serious? Okay.
yeah, first time he ever worked with anybody of
And
note. Yeah.
um
First verse recorded
little
on an
backstory
Alchemist beat was Cool
with
G
that.
Rap.
A little backstory for that. You know that how Jay-Z here that beat and passed on it?
Serious?
Yeah, that and we go make it. Them two beats, Jay-Z here and pass on.
The realist I could understand because the realist is a beat that I understand only some people will get, but I don't know how you could hear we gonna make it and pass on that.
I know, right?
Jay-Z
Travel.
pass on it or one of he A&R people?
Well, Alchemist just say what Hove pass on it, so it could be the A&R them.
Yeah, I don't think Hove would pass on that. I don't think unless he was apprehensive because Alchemist worked with Mobb Deep and he was beefing with Mobb Deep at the time. That's the only thing I could think of.
No.
Now
To be
that's
Perhaps, perhaps.
true. Well,
I don't know
with
because that should just be serious too.
all
But
right,
Yeah.
around let me say how because we gonna make it gonna be let me say about they get Alchemist 2 or 3 years he say no gonna be. That could
okay.
take it right around 99.
Oh well, yeah. Well then, it's no excuse for passing on that beat. Sorry. I don't know what's
No.
up with Rockefeller at that time.
I don't know. I don't know,
I
Trey.
hope that person unemployed now.
Yeah, clearly lost his walk because of that.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but as I said earlier, yeah, so the big track from it, of course, was Quiet Storm, and that was my first introduction to Mobb Deep. I love the cinematic vibe of it. Of course, the rainfall, sorry, sound effect that opens the track. I love the beat fit, how tense it is. And of course, there was a little movie that came out called In Too Deep, which with Omar Epps and El Cool J being playing this drug dealer, and quite convincingly so. I might add. I was like, oh, I mean, El Cool J playing this thug. Okay, okay, all right, cool, all right, scary. Okay, okay. No, like literally, the man really sold it. Like,
Yeah,
swear to God.
Mr. In the house.
Yeah, Mister In the
In a
House.
grimer.
The one guy who survived
Called Range, y'all. It's
oh
called Range.
gosh, who survived in this movie Deep Blue Sea, the man playing big thug, drug dealer. Okay. But yeah, Quiet Storm was like the track that sold the movie, right? And then of course there was a remix with Lil Kim, which was decent. I mean, not saying it was a necessary remix. We could argue about that for days if it was necessary or not. But she came in and she do she thing, respect.
It was
But
necessary. It was necessary. It was necessary.
And the version that take it commercially
Yeah,
went
because
to
still around that time, Mobb Deep was still known as underground rappers.
that right, that's the thing. That's the point I wanted
Yeah.
to get at because I didn't know about Shook One's Part Two. I didn't know about Give Up the Goods till later on. I just heard Quiet Storm. I was like, oh, who's these guys, right? And you know what I mean. I love Prodigy's verses on this, and of course, Havoc's hook is just timeless in my opinion. The beat itself is timeless.
big up
But yeah,
Hank Williams on both videos too. I love them.
yes, 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 yes. Those videos were
Yeah.
like just the epitome of late 90s hip hop filmmaking, in my opinion. I just love
Yeah.
Hype Williams' work on that. But yeah, I mean the album, I'll admit it was solid. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it as all that. But as far as late 90s hip hop goes, it was solid. And I mean Mobb Deep proved that, even though I'm not saying that they turn mainstream all of a sudden, but now that more people notice them, and this is something that well, before we get to you guys, right? Something that Havoc brought up quite recently because there was this little Facebook live chat that he had with Ambrosia for Heads talking about the legacy of the Infamous. He's talking about just all through the discography they were trying to hold on to that raw, gritty sound that they developed in the Infamous. So even if they beat sound cleaner or they collaborate with more mainstream artists, they still held on to that street sound. And you saw that really perfectly with Murder Music. So, like I say, not one of my favorite albums from them, but it's right up there as far as enjoyable Mobb Deep albums go. So, Micwise, your history with Mobb Deep's music from beginning to Murder Music. We had to talk about the 2000 period. We had to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that
yeah.
a little bit. We had to address that. But what was your
So
introduction to Mobb Deep?
so basically, the perfect three album run that they had, which was Infamous, then Hell on Earth, then Murder Music.
Right.
Those were like probably some of the last three albums I heard from them. So I got hip to them in like when they had Burn. Remember they had a song called Burn?
Yes. Which was a distract
Yeah.
to Jay-Z. Well, a response
Yeah.
to
Well,
Take It.
kind of subliminal kind of thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I knew that album, and that album, like Mobb Deep fans consider that to be one of their weakest albums.
Infamy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, Infamy.
infamy.
I'll talk about Infamy in a while, but
So,
yeah, go on.
but I found myself liking Burn, and I liked Getaway. I
Yeah,
did like that song too.
that
And then
beat
when
too was like real
yeah,
chill. You know what I mean? Like it was
I
real
was yeah,
grimy,
yeah.
but at the same time it was like real chill and laid back now.
Yeah, yeah. And then I actually like the America's Nightmare album, which was the album after that when they had Got It Twisted, and
Yeah.
they had a song called When You Hear, produced by
Oh,
Alchemist,
yeah.
and
That was a dope,
they
dope,
had
dope song.
some tough joints on that one.
Yeah.
And then when they get with G Unit, I was not a fan of a lot of the music they did.
Yeah.
But on the album, the Blood Money album, there were a few tracks I could pull and say, yeah, I like this, I like that. They had a song
Like
called Pearly
put them
Gates.
in a place and thing. Yeah.
Put them in the place, Pearly Gates, that was still dope. They had a song with Banks that was dope too on the Blood
Yeah.
Money album, And then well, Prodigy always had his solo work.
Yes.
A couple of his solo albums, like Don't Know This, I wasn't a fan too much of, but the stuff he did with Alchemist, those two albums, full length projects he did with Alchemist, yeah. Like I
Yeah.
actually put Albert Einstein, I don't know if you remember on my
Yeah,
list.
I remember
Yeah.
both
Like
both both y'all put it
very
on all your
highly,
best of the decade. Yeah.
And then,
List.
well, obviously the final Mobb Deep album they did in like, I think that was 2015 or
2014, 2014.
14. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
That was
infamous Mobb
dope.
Deep.
That was a return to form for me,
It was a nice
because
little farewell kind of thing.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and and just to talk quickly, even had like a nice little bonus. This the infamous session. So you heard
mm,
like little B sides or sorry, well, original versions of tracks that will make it to the
yeah.
infamous and some stuff that was cut out. So that was really
Oh,
dope.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So as I say, but to me, Mobb Deep at their peak was that run from 95 to 99,
Yeah.
which was the infamous Hell on Earth and Murder Music. I mean, that like if you're a hip hop act, like that's a dream run that any hip hop
Yeah.
act is jealous of. Havoc with the production was incredible. Then Alchemist came on the Murder Music album, and he was right up there with Havoc.
Yeah.
Incredible Prodigy as a lyricist. Like people, I don't know. I feel like Prodigy's kind of slept on, especially before he passed.
Mm.
What he was doing on those three albums, especially, was like some next level type of shit. So Yeah, the infamous. I remember how I got into the infamous. The person who actually introduced me to the album was Doe.
Yeah.
Doe he
Okay.
brought.
We'll look at
Doe
that.
brought the original copy of the album that he had from however long. He brought it to the studio. He was by Professor at that time recording. And Doe used to bring albums that he had collected over time. So many albums Doe would bring out, and
Yeah,
we would vibe
to
it.
nice.
Yeah,
Sorry
yeah.
about that. Like for inspiration, right?
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's how I heard the Infamous for the first time, and it's probably one of the last Mobb Deep's album I would have heard. And yeah, I mean, I was just so ashamed that I wasn't up on it from before, because it eventually became one of my favorite hip hop albums of all time. Period. So
Right.
that is my non-linear history
Yeah.
of Mobb Deep.
Right.
Of
Well,
my fandom of Mobb Deep, I should say.
yeah. All right. Well, Doughboy was seen that Micwise revealed something quite interesting. I mean, you bring in the original CD, respect, to the
Yeah.
studio at that time. What's your history with Mobb Deep?
All right. My history of Mobb Deep. When I started to go Sun Community, I meet Profess, and eventually he find out that how I just rap. Bring some dudes to hear me rap, thinking that how I'll be shook. So I started spit. Um, One of the dudes, a big, tall, hefty dude, like, yo, you sound like Prodigy. I'm like, who the hell is Prodigy?
Okay.
Um, like, dude from Up Deep, you sound exactly like him. I'm like, okay. So it had a place that Mike know where that used to sell CDs. That me and he used to go
Yeah.
come. I walked straight down there and bought the Infamous album to go and see who's this dude I sound like.
Mm.
And just start vibing it. So that was the first time I heard that album. And when when I heard Prodigy, I like, yo, this dude like super, super, super angry at people, boy. So one time I just started like vibe off the song because it wasn't what I was listening at the time because I was like a big Rockefeller fan at the time.
Mm.
So going into that, it was from shiny, grimy music to more murky, find you in a corner and stab you up
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So yeah, my collection a little hefty, so I started buying more albums. So after that, I get murder music and heard G Rap now and
Hmm.
Alchemist and just the whole body of work that they do on that and all the features blend well. So I like, yo, these dudes are ill. These
Yeah.
dudes are real ill. Um, then, well, Infamy, and I like, yo, this album is ass. They need to, you know, they need to find back whatever chemistry they had. And they went on a little hiatus a while, must see about 3 years or something.
Yeah.
And then they came back with America's Nightmare. And the first track got it twisted. I see video on BT.
Yeah. I
And
remember. I remember how much BT just killed that video.
because the song was dope.
Yeah. That
And
just Alchemist beat on that though. Like, dog
and
blinding me
the
with
sample
science,
was she
right?
blinded me with
Yeah.
science. And he just
Take
slow
that
it
and
down.
make that sound and make it
Uber
sound so
grimy.
grimy, Dread. You know what I mean? And still be like this club banger joint, right? That that real dope, though. I mean, it
Mm.
real
Yeah.
dope. Yeah.
So again went to my normal store that again must it from bought the America's Nightmare album and fall back in love with Mobb Deep. That was like the album had like dope tracks, as Mike say. When you hear that, my favorite track on the whole album is "Win or Lose."
Ah, yeah. When the lose was dope. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, I like my
yeah,
favorite track on the whole album.
yeah.
Then then G Unit came in and I find 50 was using them as pawns, basically. Them and MOP, he was just using them as pawns with people that he was beefing with at the time. So uh, when I hear the Blood Money album, I know Curtis Hart wasn't in it now. To
Yeah.
get them a good album. Um, Still waiting for the G Unit MOP album.
I does it exist though?
Yeah, I didn't think
They
again.
say, yeah, they say it had one, but Curtis never put it out. Um, yeah, Blood Money whole thing. It had good tracks on it, but again, there was 50 there was too much on 50, man. Praising 50 for unnecessary crap.
Yeah.
Then the last album, that was just, to me, that was like all the tracks them that they thought was fat that they cut off and they just let out, and it was good. Like and Nas Lost Tapes, that was to me,
Mm.
and that was a good send off. Well, both of them had their own solo solo career.
Yeah. Yeah.
Havoc with before 13. I like that album. That album real good though.
Okay.
The
I'll
production
I'll
on
check that out.
13 real good.
All right.
Well, which 13 you get? It had 13 and then it had 13 part 2. Get you 13.
All right. So
That do.
don't bother with part two.
Now you can listen to part 2, but 13 though.
Okay. Okay.
Um, like how, well, Albert Einstein from Prodigy, that like real dope. But to me, HCN,
Oh,
HCN,
HNIC. Yeah.
yeah.
I swear I listened to one of them, and it was probably the second one I
Two.
think, but I think it's
I
the
never
second one
listened
I
to
listened
one,
to.
but
Right.
see, two is what make me really start to follow Prodigy solo wise, because that album was grimy and a little crazy out there. Talking about lizard men and all kind of weird
Oh
crap.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
well we wouldn't touch on this, but I mean we might as well mention it. This whole that point in time where he was believing in this, the Illuminati and JC's part of it, and all that kind of stuff. And I was like,
Yeah,
all right, just get back to rapping, please. Yeah.
yeah. So the album was good, even though he had the little weird moments, it was good.
Right.
And it had like 1 or 2 videos again with weird moments, weird moments that you had to question his sanity, but it was dope. Um, it had track ABC that like that catch me off guard. Up to now, I still want to know who make that beat. Um, and that is it for me. And that how well, as I say, I get into Mobb Deep from somebody telling me I song like Prodigy.
All right. Well, I
Yeah.
will just well, like I said earlier, I kind of did this deep dive into the discography because like I only like kind of listened to the Infamous and Hell on Earth and Juvenile Hell. I haven't listened to the other stuff except for the last album, which I'll get to. So I was kind of introduced to murder music, which I enjoyed for the most part. And then after that we had Infamy, which wasn't half bad. But I mean, I did remember how big a deal Hey Love, for example. That's the track that they did with One Tub. I remember how big a deal that song was. Like I remember actually like really like enjoying that track. That I think it's still it feels genuine. I forgot the learning was on this track was on this album as well. And compared to Takeover, which a lot of people regard as probably one of the best songs ever.
Yeah.
It's not like I could see anybody in some cipher rapping over Takeover's beat, right? I mean, no. At that point in time, it's the 2000s, right? You know how hip hop sounded then. You know what I mean? It was a little, well, not a little. It was a lot shinier, a lot glossier, if you will, right? So I kind of saw Mobb Deep
Mm.
just trying to fit in there at the same time, trying to hold on to that griminess that people knew them for. So there were some tracks that I cared for, some other tracks I didn't really care for at all, but it was what it was, right? There was a little mixtape that they put out called Free Agents, the murder mixtape. Because this is right after where they
Oh,
left
that when
Loud
they was trying to get
Record.
off Jive. No,
Jive.
yeah.
Yes, Jive. Was it? Oh,
No,
did they? So did
Loud
they?
didn't get
No,
buyout
no,
by
they
Jive yet.
signed the Jive. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
no,
signed the
Loud
Jive
didn't get
after.
buyout from Jive, and Jive take a few of the artists.
Right. So around through that as well. And it had a couple of decent tracks here, but none really that I will like go back to though. Also, although the second track had, sorry, the second disc, the two disc thing had some unreleased tracks from, well, the infamous, sorry, what do you call them by? The infamous Mob. No, the infamous Mob. The
Yeah,
infamous
the
Mob.
infamous
That would
Mob.
be,
They Godfather, Part 3,
yeah,
Big
Twin
Big Nicky.
Gambino,
Yeah,
Mm.
Big
um,
Nicky.
Big Noy to extent,
No, not
we
Big
bring up Big
Noy.
Noy in
Big
the, oh,
Nicky.
Big Noy was
Big
the
Noy
part of
was
them.
his
Okay.
own thing. Them dudes, them actually good. I buy one of the albums in a discount bid. Get
Which
like
one? What was it? Big Noy's debut. Can know about it, but I just never
no,
never
not
got around to
Big
listening
Noise
to it. Though.
debut, the infamous Mob Blood
Oh,
and Water. Yeah,
right.
that was the
They
second
only put out like one
album.
album, though. I think. Right.
And I find it in the discount box at $50, and I get a DVD and an album.
Okay. But is it worth checking out though?
Yeah, cool.
All right.
It it just
I'm gonna
like
look for it.
it 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 Mob Deep but less polished. If I
All
could
right.
put it like, yeah, it Mob
All
Deep but
right.
less polished, because
Yeah.
you had the Godfather had the kind of Prodigy song,
Yeah.
um Bignity, had had the Havoc song, and then this other dude, he had the Big Noise voice.
Mm.
So it every track will remind you of them, but it's just a little rough
Yeah.
because they had the producers and stuff now.
Oh, okay. All right. Right. So from there now there was America's Nightmare. I remember Got It Twisted. I mean that song was the was big back in like 2004. I remember that being a big thing. When I went, but then there's some other cuts that like I would say he heard for the first time, like when you hear the, and I was like, all right, this like probably one of the best tracks off this album period. I just love the beat for that, by the way. I
Yeah.
forgot about Real Gangsters though. Which Lil Jon,
Well,
produced.
John.
Yeah, I forgot about that, boy. And everything
Oh
about
god,
that
that
was
when
just
everybody was getting
so
crunk.
Lil Jon. That toot toot toot
Yeah.
toot toot toot. Yeah, everything about that is
Everybody
so
getting crunk.
Lil Jon. Even right down to his part, his section basically in the song, which is basically the whole roll call thing that he known for. You know what I mean? Like he does. I'm like, all right, they actually allow him to do this. Okay. Okay, yeah, like I haven't heard that song in ages, though, you know what I mean? The Got It Twisted remix, I forgot about that too, which Twister was on. Was dope too, I'll give it that.
Look,
Um,
you know, gave me. I didn't know it had a girl was supposed to remix.
it does, yeah, it does. I don't know
Yeah, there's
where I heard it
news to me too.
initially, but yeah, well, it was on the album for one thing, but I know I heard it somewhere. I swear it was off of some, I don't know, some mixtape or something like that, like
Like you
those
gotta make me go on
Green
YouTube now and
Lantern
look for
plan.
that. Just.
Yeah, look for it. But the verses are different from both Havoc and Prodigy, and Twister just doing typical Twister stuff that he was doing back in like the 2000s.
Yeah, now that you
Typical,
say it, I remember it with Twister, yeah.
yeah.
But it was ass, so nobody really remember it.
Well, that's the thing. And this last thing, well, just speaking of Twister, there was a track that I didn't even know Kanye produced on this too, called "Throw Your Hands in the Air,"
Yeah, throw
and
your hand.
the beats was okay, but I just find that it was not a right fit for Havoc and Prodigy. Sorry, for Havoc and Prodigy though. it just didn't fit at all for
Yeah,
somewhere. It didn't gel well enough though. Like I could tell that that beat was supposed to be for somebody else, like I don't know, like a Talib or somebody who could just flow naturally
Yeah,
in it. But
Tal,
with
well, that
Mobb
song.
Deep,
Kanye himself
nah,
would have song good on that.
yeah. I was surprised that he actually do something on this. Though. I thought it would just be like Alchemist, Havoc, Havoc Alchemist. You know what I mean? Just
yeah,
have the
the
production. Though.
usual suspects.
Yeah, yeah. And then just well before we get to the album, before we get to the infamous, of course, I just had to mention briefly, Blood Money. He probably that one album that both parties, well, both Prodigy and Havoc probably regret, mainly because it just felt literally like 50, like just 50 Cent just like he have them. He know how big they are, right? But just not knowing what to do with them. It's like, hey, I'm gonna hook you up with Tony Ayo, and you'll have a song together. You have a song with Young Buck, okay, and you have a song with. By the way, that song with Young Buck, dude, that beat. What was that? Yeah, give it to me. What was that? That's the one where they sampled this movie, and they use like a song from a Bollywood movie and they just add it to the beat. And they're like,
Yes,
who
I
I
hear that
listened to
song.
it. Creep was garbage. Backstage Pass is garbage. Pearly Gates was alright for what it was. Like I get, it's kind of weird that they censor some of Prodigy's lyrics. That was kind of weird. But I remember the three big tracks being Have a Party, which still I would nod my head to just because of the beat. The beat still knocks, and I do like Nate Dogg's hook on this, right? Put them in the place, of course, is because of how I don't know, just how it just sounds like some soundtrack to some crime movie that dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun.
but
It just have this
you want to know
crime
what has get me
mobster
in
feel
that
to it.
track? Just Prodigy first, how Prodigy first start off,
I
and
was
I'll be like,
raised in
yeah,
hood, raised by the wolves. Like when I
yeah,
hear that, though, like especially when we ended with, I was told by the OGs, like my pops, like when I hear that, I was like, jeez, man, like sing around grimy, but you know what I mean?
yeah. Just see verse that's make me like, yeah, this is badass.
Yeah,
Whoop somebody ass track.
yeah, that's
Some
exactly what it
some
is, man.
UFC fighter also come down to the ring to that move, which
Actually,
was dope.
come to think of it, that yeah, I could see that happening. I could see that happening. Of course, Out of Control remix.
I forget about that track and all.
Yeah, well, I remember that being big too.
Yeah, it was
But
big.
yeah, but the thing is that I actually remember this more than the original Out of Control, which was off of 50 Cent Massacre. Like the beat was decent, and you just throw your hands in the air when you hear it. But there was something about Out of Control and how laid back it was. It just felt like traditional Dr. Dre music.
I actually like
I
that.
think the last no, it still holds up to me. I think the reason why I remember it so much is because when um when 50 dropped the massacre, right? The last track being Heat to Love It, the remix with Game, right? There was
Yeah.
they did a remix it. And then because of the beef that came afterwards with Game and 50, they took that out now and then re-release Massacre with Out of Control remix. So like, oh okay, this
Oh
and that
yeah, I
was like
forgot they
the
did that.
first
Yeah.
time that I heard this song. Like, oh, okay, okay, okay. And then, well, last things last, then we had the infamous Mobb Deep, which I remember when it came out in 2014. Checked it out then, and I listened to it actually today. Before we met up online, and it still holds up, even though yes, this is their last album. Um, like I don't know what went on behind the scenes. I don't know if they just had to play along, but the chemistry was still there for the most part. They came, they did the thing, they made themselves relevant in the 2010s, and it was what it was, right? But I just glad that we had the bonus CD with the unreleased tracks basically from Mobb Deep and whatnot. But last thing I just want to bring up here too. But we also have to mention, well, the fact that Prodigy passed away
Yeah.
June the 20th, 2017, right? I
Mm-hmm.
remember, I think it was a day or two after, or probably I think it was like a day before, literally. That was when I listened to his final album, which was Hegelian Dialectic, the Book of Revelation. And be like, I haven't, revisited that album in quite some time. But I remember being quite impressed by it. You know what I mean? Just once again, you know what I mean? Him being the age that he was and still making himself relevant in 2010s hip hop now. And then literally like about a day or so later, I hear the man die, and I'm like, wow, okay, like just he may have, and I mean the album came out like months before he died, but this is be a fact that I got to listen to it before he died. That's quite amazing to me. But I mean, Prodigy, yes, rest in peace to Prodigy. I mean, he really did his thing, I mean, throughout his career, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and
uh-huh.
his daughter is carrying on his flag, and
Oh,
she
really?
is a beast. I love her.
What's a stage name?
Her rap name is Samantha Fox.
Swear I hear that
No,
name somewhere though. Did
not
I?
Samantha. Santana Fox.
Santana Fox. Oh, okay. I probably did, but
I'll 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 post her song
yeah.
on my Facebook after.
All right, please do. I really would love to hear what she brings to the table here.
Let me just say one thing before.
Uh-huh.
Depending on what happens between now and this episode airing, I just saw a bit of news. Scarface has kidney failure and he's on dialysis right now. He also
Damn.
had he also has
Had
COVID.
Corona, yeah.
Oh my God, serious? No, I know he had corona, but I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow, boy, jeez,
that's our update I just saw here. So yeah,
Well, Corona licking up everybody with it.
yeah,
boy.
that's Scarface
2020, please,
one.
please, please spare. Okay, well, I don't want to say spare Scarface, but oh gosh, man, like, oh gosh, give me a little blind 2020, please, like, come on. All right, so okay, so without further ado, let's just jump into the infamous, right? So I'll just run them track by track, and then you share your thoughts on what you thought about each track, right? So we start off with the start of your ending for the first side, and one thing just right off the go, just right off the get go, is that normally with 90s albums, with 90s hip hop albums, they always have like a intro, right? In this case, it's like no, forget intro, we just jumping right in, right? I
Yeah.
love the beat for this, how dark and moody it is, right? And it just perfectly sets up the tone for this. Havoc and Prodigy just come through with just a grimy ass verse on this though. And I mean, not much more I could say though. This is just a solid, just I would say a perfect way just to start off the album here. I can't really say anything else. I just love the beat for this. I love the verses on this in particular. Yeah, I just love this track here. Uh, Doughboy, what's your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Sorry, on this first track here, the start to the ending.
Uh, I love the name. I
Yeah,
love the
yeah,
name. Like, yeah, this is where you die,
yeah,
basically. So how it start off with, yeah, we just going in one time, we got normal 90s thing with, yeah, this is the crew and we, yeah, thing. No, we going into the bars one time
yeah,
and we going, this guy be kill shot from off the top.
yeah. Definitely. Oh, well, before we get to Mike, I forgot to mention too. I didn't know this, till thanks to Genius. You know what I mean? They actually mentioned Killer B or Killer Black, right? This actually was Prodigy's, or was it
Older
Havoc?
brother.
Yeah, Prodigy's older brother
Not
actually.
Havoc older brother that
Right,
died.
right. Havoc. Sorry, yeah, Havoc's older brother, and like it was like when I found out how he died, I was like, oh shit, that's how it happened, man. So apparently he was high off angel dust, and he had his loaded firearm with him, and he shot himself in the head like accidentally.
Oh damn!
I was like,
Eh?
Wow.
shit. Oh, okay. Yeah, but they do bring him up at the beginning of this album, and they mention him periodically through the album as well. But Mike Wise, Mike Wise, what's your thoughts on just this opening track here?
Yeah, perfect way to set the tone of the album. It's one of my favorite beats on the overall thing, and I saying a lot. So I like how they just went straight into a song one time because that was rare at the time. So yeah,
Yeah,
as I said, this was the song to set the tone for people to anticipate what was coming next. So they did a perfect job of that. So,
Yeah, yeah.
great. One of the best intros of all time, basically.
I totally agree with you, man. All right, so next off we have the infamous prelude, man. I don't know why, but every time I hear this, I just Prodigy just talking through this, right? I just have like this dumb smile on my face. Like I just imagine him in the studio, all the partners behind him, and they're all like, yeah, man, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he is just so cocky on this, right? And essentially, is just like, don't fuck with me, or else you get dealt with, right? And they even have a part where he takes shots at, Def Squad, right? So he takes shots at Keith Murray and Redman. So you see, just read it off here to all them rap ass niggas with your half ass rhymes, talking about how much you get high, how much weed you smoke, and that crazy spit shit that don't even make any sense. Do ever speak to me when you see me? You know what I'm saying? Would. I'm gonna have to get us some old high school shit. Start punching niggas in the face just for living. Jesus. Like, wow, boy. Like, seriously? That's where we at, boy? I know you guys generally don't like skits and all that, but this is one I could just listen through because, once again, just the cockiness, right? This, how cocky P is on that mic, shit. And I just love it. I just love it. Mike, is this a track that you see just like, yeah, just like listen to this way? Yeah, boy.
This is like, I don't revisit it a lot, but hearing it for the first time, it was good to know, where Prodigy mind state was at that time in terms of how he viewed himself and how he viewed the game. And I find it surprising that they put this as the second track and not the intro, because usually
Yeah,
this is the kind of thing people used to put as intros, and then they would put start at your ending as track two. So
yeah.
that is what I actually find was funny. The placement of that, I find that was kind of interesting, but it
Mhm.
worked. It worked for me.
Yeah. Doughboy, is this a track that you skip or you just crack up every time you listen to it?
I listened to it a few times, but mostly if I skip, so I'll skip.
All right, and well, I mean, you get the point already. You don't need to go back to it.
Yeah,
All right, fair
yeah.
enough, fair enough. Yeah. All right, so the next track we have is the second single actually from the infamous called "Survival of the Fittest." Right. This is another dedication to Killer Black, right, or Killer B, as well, actually it's Prodigy's older brother. I should check up and see if it's Havoc, but Genius says is Prodigy, but whatever. Right. I love the beat for this. This beat is just so cold and gloomy and hopeless, but it's one of those beats you could just kind of just you just find yourself immersed in, where like you just submerged by this beat. It's just so infectious, right? Prodigy and Havoc spit some of the most quotable bars in this. Like I love oh gosh, where Prodigy says, I'm going out blasting, taking my enemies with me, and if not, they scarred, so they will never forgive me. Never forget me, sorry. Lord, forgive me, the Hennessy got me not knowing how to act. I'm falling and I can't turn back. Or maybe it's a word from a man killer black that I can't see, so it's left an untold fact. Like, yo, I love that. Havoc, I love where he says, I'm trapped in between two worlds trying to get dough. You know, when the dough gets low, the jewels go, but never that. As long as fiends smoke crack, I'll be on the block hustling, counting my stacks.
Mm.
And it's just how blunt everything is. You're like, yo, this is the reality we in. You may not like it, you may not understand it, but this is just what it is. And this last thing I just want to say here, well, there's a couple things. Um, well, Gina's kind of touched on it, right? So in the chorus, right, there's a part like where they say "Tug life, we still live in it." So to me now, when I hear that, I was wondering now if that's the reason why Tupac took shots at Mobb Deep, like if he kind of misinterpret what they say, that like, oh, we's real tug life and your tug
Mm.
life is just fake or whatever it is. I don't know. I can't really say, right? And last thing I want to say though, actually there was a remix of this, which we'll get into at the end though, because with the Japanese edition of this, right? This came out, I think it was like the 15th anniversary of the album's release, or something like that, or some anniversary of it. That was the final track or the bonus track, right? The Survival of the Fittest remix. So I'll leave that for the very end. But Doughboy, Survival of the Fittest, one of the best.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I should say yes. This is hands on one of the best Mobb Deep songs ever, ever recorded, in my opinion. Doughboy, you agree or disagree?
This is, yeah, basically one of the best Mobb Deep songs. If Prodigy could take some bars out of this and then make the best Mobb Deep song. Hook, yeah, this deserves to be thing.
Yeah.
So the beat itself had gloomy aura.
Yes, it does. It does.
And this and everything that is spitting straight street shit.
Yeah.
And it, and again just the beat that just playing that vibe, that doom, doom
Yeah.
and the
Something about that
drums.
piano, boy. That dum dum. Something
Yeah.
about that, boy. Yeah.
And and the drums havoc came through with the beat this time.
Yeah. Havoc real keen. Well, yeah, he did his thing on this album, but one not like.
Yeah, and well, when we get to shook ones, we gonna think, but again,
Yeah.
now I'm a little insert for that now. But yeah, Havoc came through on this one, and again, the verses them was straight viciousness, street life.
Yeah. That's what it was. Micwise,
Yeah,
Survival of the Fittest.
yeah.
Thoughts?
One of the best Mobb Deep songs of all time. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
this is one of the best beats ever in hip hop. Period. To
Mm.
me, you know, and yeah, just
Facts, big old
vicious
facts.
verses. Like, there's like, if you want to, if Mobb Deep had a mission statement, this song is like a mission statement for them.
Mm.
Like from the opening lines, like when Prodigy come and say there's a war going on outside, no man is safe from.
Yeah.
Like, like
Yeah.
come on, like that's is just hip hop at its finest, man. So yeah, this is like a top five Mobb Deep song for me, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
Next track we have is Eye for an Eye. Your beef is mine. So let's get this out of the way. This is one of my all-time favorite Mobb Deep songs, like ever.
Mm.
Havoc's beat for this though is just so grimy and nasty and bleak. And every time I just hear it, I just be like just awe-inspired by it. But just something about it. And it's one of those beats that just loop in your brain when you hear it though. That kind of siren kind of sound, that and it just loops through it. You know what I mean? And then when the drums with it, it just whew. I love the hook on this, you know what I mean? As time goes by, an eye for an eye, we all in this together, son, your beef is mine. I love that. The
Yeah.
verses are fire. Nas Escobar, because yeah, we can't call him Nas or Nas here. He was Nas Escobar. This was around the that whole the firm, that whole mafioso period that Nas was on.
Uh,
Speaking of the mafioso thing, Raekwon was there. Raekwon was fire on this. I loved it. Everybody came through, killed it. As Raekwon described it, it was Queensbridge and Shaolin just came together on this. So bonafide classic. I love this song. And just lastly, I want to say on the infamous Mobb Deep, the bonus CD, as I mentioned before, this was a track that they had. So they actually had the original version to this. So Nas's verse was left intact, but everybody else, their verses were different, which is pretty interesting. But I suggest you check it out. Though the beat is different on that one, but this one
oh,
here, like I say, I just love the beat for this boy. This beat is just so dark and bleak and hypnotic in my opinion.
so
So
Mobb Deep,
yeah, boy,
so Mobb
so
Deep.
Mobb Deep, boy, so Mobb Deep. So
mm-hmm.
Mike is this one of your favorite Mobb Deep songs ever?
Yeah. This is another one of my favorite Mobb Deep songs ever. The beat sounds like the theme song of a serial killer movie. Like it's so
Yes, boy.
sinister and
Yeah,
dark and just haunting. And I mean, it's a classic posse cut. Everybody did their thing on their verses. But like this time, I always say that period between '94 and '96, when Nas had Illmatic, then he had the verbal intercourse feature, and he had the features on Do or Die Easy album, and this,
yeah,
and then going into It Was Written. This is when Nas was untouchable for me.
And don't forget
yes.
he was on Fast Life on 456.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
yes,
Fast
it's
Life. Yeah,
Cool,
yeah, yeah,
Cool
yeah.
G Life, yeah.
Yeah, I mix up the year that was, but yeah, that
That
was
was
that
that
would have
was
been
95. That
95.
was 95. Yeah.
95, yeah, Cool G Rap. Yeah, Nas was a different kind of animal, dog, and yeah, so all in all, classic posse cut. One of the best posse cuts of all time, and yeah, one of my top. I don't know about top five, but definitely in my top 10 Mobb Deep songs all time.
Right. Doughboy, Eye for an Eye.
Yeah.
thoughts?
This this is one of my favorites on the album because again it's just a song about vengeance.
Yeah,
Mm.
Basically, yeah, that's all about vengeance. Getting people back with shit. So you could relate.
yeah,
It's easy to relate though. It's not far fetched or nothing. So, and again, the beat, again, Havoc 40 with the darkness and grime.
yeah,
You could just, yeah. Again, this, everybody can say these these three tracks, this survival and the fittest and shook ones, top three on the album.
all right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everybody can
Well,
say that. Yeah, everybody can say
yeah,
that.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
everybody can say. Although my number one song on the album is not shook ones. It's a totally different song. We'll
All
get to
right, all
that
right.
later.
Yes, yes, yes. Can't wait. All right, so after that is a prelude, and then we'll jump into the next track, right? So we have Just Step, the prelude. This is where we hear Big Noid for the first time. He does a nice little acapella, little freestyle there, and then Prodigy comes in. So not much there, it's just a nice little setup for the next track, which is one of my all-time favorites. Give Up the Goods, Just Step, right? This is the fourth and final single from the album. It's only quite recently that I found out that there was a music video for it. I watched it and I was like, all right, it's every bit as 95 as hip hop videos go, but I was wondering if it fit the tone of the track itself, because basically what they talk about is just, well, robbing folks, right? But more like is a necessity, like, oh well, if it comes in, yeah, I just gotta rob and steal and get what I want, right? Um this was produced by my boy Q-Tip, who called himself the Abstract. And what I love about this beat in particular, right? So he takes a sample from a soul song called "That's All Right with Me," right, from a artist called Esther Phillips, right? That beat
Hmm.
itself is timeless. That do 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 do. I love that, right? And then when the drums come in, though, it's like, all right, Q-Tip, okay, okay, do you do your thing. And let's talk about Q-Tip for a bit, because we kind of get used to his production, with
Try.
his last two albums, right? With well, right, with a Tribe Called Quest, right? With the Low End Theory, Midnight Marauders, People's Instinctive Travels to extent, right? But we didn't know, or at least I assume people back then didn't know that he could get a little grimy, that he could get a little dusty as well too. So I just love how dusty and grimy that beat is, right? Even though it has that kind of trademark kind of jazzy flow, if you really kind of think about it now. It just kind of flows smoothly, right? But it's just the drums make it sound a little nasty, in my opinion, right? Um, there's so much great moments in this though. Like I think Prodigy himself steals the song, because how he just comes in with the verse, or with the opening verse. Let's read it out here. Queens getting money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle when the guns go blast. The fool retaliated, so I had to think fast. Pull out my heat first, he pull out the heat last. Now who the fuck you
Who the
think is
fuck you
living
think
to this day?
till this
I'm
day?
trying to tell these young niggas crime no pay. They
Kind of,
looked at me and
right?
said, Queens
Yeah.
niggas no play. Do your thing, I'll do mine, kids stay out my way. Like, dog, like, yo, what? You know what I mean? Big Noid came in, you know what I mean? He came in strong in this. I love his intro. Yo, it's R-A-P-P-E-R. Like, I just love that, right? And I love the part where he talk about how he go with his gap to see his PO dread. Like, it was just griminess from start to end dread.
Yeah.
Of course, Havoc did his thing. Of course, his opening lines are iconic. You ain't time for faking jacks, because brothers that fake jacks, they lead on the backs. Micwise, I know you know this, because this was what Pete Rock sampled off of the I song, Faking Jacks,
Of
which you
course.
used for your Sunday lunch mixtape. Love that
Of
song, by the way. Love what you did there.
yeah.
But to me, the moment that, I don't know, like, every time I was hearing this, I just kind of lose my shit though. Is that the beat the music itself just drops off, and all you just hear is the drums. And Prodigy's just still going at it though. I was like, this man could just be going, and he just stops where he says,
Yeah, like you
and
don't
sticking
feel
up,
it that
yeah,
anyway.
yeah, and he just stops where he says, and sticking up these stick up kids. Like he could have just go on for like 2 minutes straight or 2 minutes more with those drums just playing alone. But every time I just hear that, I'm like, who come up with this idea to drop the music and just hear drums? Like, what? You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, not much more I could say. I love Give Up the Goods. Everything about this song works, from Keita's production to just everybody who came in verbally on this. I love this track. Doughboy, Give Up the
Yeah,
Goods. Thoughts?
this is my favorite track on the album.
I knew it. I knew it. I was gonna do it.
This is my favorite track on the album. I actually on my Facebook, when I now learn how to make reason, I remake this beat.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I actually still I know when she my Facebook I find the video. I actually remade this beat. Um just the beat alone catch me, and then oh, everybody was going in. It just remind me of just that era when everybody had to be a spitter. Everybody it had no ass on the team. Nobody is butt cheeks. Everybody had to be spitting.
Yeah.
And it's hard for you to say who got the best verse on this track now. Because
I say Prodigy personally, but agree or disagree.
Noid had verse was grimy.
Yeah,
And
boy.
then and you want to know why I feel when Prodigy hear Noid verse, he like, nah, you ain't gonna start on this shit with me. I went back in boot and just going in for that last verse and was just going off you.
Yeah, boy.
So I that again favorite track on the album. I love this too much.
Right. Micwise, Give Up the Goods. Best song ever.
Yo, this is in my top 10 Mobb Deep songs. You
Nice.
know what I love? I love the fact that if you just hear the beat, especially because of the sample, like the sample of the song so soulful and nice and wholesome,
Yeah.
but the content of the song so grimy. Like I love that kind of juxtaposition between the two now, you know.
Right.
So yeah, everybody went off on this, but I think Prodigy is the one who steals the show here because them two verses, these are some of the best bars he ever spit to me on this song. You know, so yeah,
Yeah.
give up the goods. Yeah, at this point, they ain't miss yet on this album.
Right.
Yeah.
Next track we have, and I didn't even know this was a single till like after the fact. Temperatures Rising, right? So yeah, I mean from one great track to another, right? I really dig the hell out of this, right? I love how, I mean, once again, this is Q-Tip producing this, right? But I love how slow it is, like how laid back it is, but at the same time it's just moody. Like it's not dark, right? But it's just moody, right? Um I love how dusty drums are on this, like intentionally dusty now, you know what I mean? Like it's not cleaned up or anything like that. I think it's done intentionally, right? The bass
Mhm.
line, every time I hear that bass line, I get chills. When I hear that doom, 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 doom. Like, if I was hear that one, I just be like, jeez, man, you know what I mean? And the reason why I was giving chills is because you hear the title, right? And then Crystal Johnson, right? Comes with the hook. Great hook in my opinion, right?
Yeah,
So,
Mm.
no food.
but
No
it's
food.
like, okay, she talk about temperatures rising, but the beat is so cold. You know what I mean, I love that, right? Yeah, but basically, what the track is about. So both Havoc and Prodigy, the more talking about this incident, I believe it involved both of them involve Killer Black himself, right? Where he was accused of murder and he was on the run, right? So they talking about, well, just I like, you hold on the fort, I gotta handle myself. Don't worry, I know how shit crazy, and just be careful. You gotta be real cautious, right? So there's a level of like caution and paranoia involved in this, right? And just from a storytelling perspective, from both MCs, I just love what they bring to the table here. It's so detailed. You could feel like, yeah, this is legit dialogue that, you know, a person in that situation would say to his friend or his associate, like, yeah, this is the reality of the situation here, but don't worry, I can handle myself. I know what it is I do it. You know what I mean? I'll I'll tie a brick to this gun and throw it in the river. Like, I know what to do, right? I know how to react. I'm not gonna mess things up, right? But yeah, The remix for this I actually dig as well too, even though there's some altered verses, the hook is different, and I don't know, like the beat for that is colder, though, like genuinely and just genuinely cooler than what we get here. So that so technically in the remix, it's way cooler than what we get in the original, in my opinion. But the original still stands out to me, in my opinion, beat wise and lyric wise. And yeah, I just genuinely love this song here, man. Micwise, thoughts on Temperatures Rising?
Dope. I mean, the first thing that stands out obviously is the drums,
Yeah,
definitely. Um, they're so hard hitting and dusty, just like how I like drums.
yeah,
Um, Interesting that they had a female singer on the hook, because that seems something that seems like something on Mobb Deep, like,
yeah,
and it
commercial
seems like
or
some
mainstream.
it seems like something commercial. It seems like something that doesn't belong on an album like The Infamous, but it works really, really well, you know. So yeah, I dig this track a lot. Vivid imagery in the verses, as always,
Yes,
everybody's
yes, yes.
thing, and yeah, and a lot of people don't know that Q-Tip did produce, as we talk about with Give Up the Goods. He did produce a few songs on this album. I feel like people don't give Q-Tip his flowers that much as a producer,
I know, right?
because I think that there are things that he has done that people don't know that he has done, because everybody hears The Infamous and thinks Havoc just did the whole thing,
Yeah.
you know. So I think that is the thing with Q-Tip. I think Q-Tip has to get his flowers as a producer for his work on this album, and all, Tribe and Nas One Love and his solo stuff and everything else. So
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely right. And I mean, Q-Tip was the one who pretty much believed in Mobb Deep, who helped give them a chance, basically. He offered to help them out.
yeah, he was heavily involved in this album. Apart from just making of a few beats,
Yeah.
he helped them
I
with
mean,
their
I mean, they both
overall
from Queen.
direction.
I mean, they
Yeah,
both
yeah,
from Queensbridge, so I mean, it's like, yeah,
yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah.
yeah, that too. So and this was the year after Nas Illmatic, when he was involved on that with One Love.
With one love,
So
yeah.
yeah, so yeah, dope song, and yeah, temperatures rising. Ain't nothing surprising.
Yeah, indeed. Doughboy, temperatures
Yeah.
rising.
Second favorite track on the album.
Not surprised.
Yeah,
Boy.
just again storytelling,
Yeah, I know you love your storytelling a rap song, huh? Yeah.
storytelling. That the beat, Cripsy, the see the old school trick that the producers then does do with the filter sample and the normal sample, with switching between them.
Right.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
see
Mm.
that, see when they're doing that. Yeah, the track gotta be a banger.
Yeah.
So the girl on the hook, she voice suit the track well.
Yeah.
Everything
Mm.
about the track was thing, and to me, every time I hear it, I'm like, yeah, temperature rising with, yeah, they're playing me. When I hear it, I'm like, yeah, I understand with why you're saying temperature rising, and nothing to do with no Fahrenheit or Celsius. It's
Yeah.
just the paranoia building up on you, and you're starting to think, you're thinking different about everything. So instead of saying your blood pressure building, like, yeah, temperature rising on me, things
Yeah.
getting hot. Yeah, so
But before we get to the extract though, what are your thoughts on the remix though?
I
I've
ain't
never
never
heard
heard
the
remix.
remix.
Yeah, I
I only
never.
now
Oh
know it's a
really?
remix because of you
Yeah,
a few minutes ago.
same thing. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
So
know
I
yeah,
that.
yeah,
done put in my mind after this, I had to go and check out the remix when we done this.
definitely check it out.
Who
It
produced
have
the remix though? Who produced the remix?
um that is a good question. I believe yeah, well Q-Tip also produced that. But like I
Okay.
say, it have a colder feel to it though, like a much colder feel. But
Ah, that looks good.
it have a slightly radio friendly vibe to it too, I would say.
Mhm.
That's the best way to describe it.
The
But it
only
does feel like
different
a nice
version,
extension of
yeah.
the original one. That like it's totally different beats. It's a nice extension from what we get here.
The only different version of a song I heard from this album was the original Eye for an Eye.
Oh, okay.
So the same one, the same version he was talking about, yeah. That's the
Yeah.
only alternate version of a song I know from this whole album. So yeah, I'll
Oh.
check out these things after.
Yeah. Really, really highly recommend y'all check out the remix.
Yeah.
Oh, and the beat and the instrumentals available too. So, though if you wanna remake it, go right on ahead. Yeah.
Nah.
All right. So next track we have is Up North Trip. Oh, sorry, Up North Trip. Right. This is probably one of the more upbeat instrumentals in this, even though the subject matter is anything but, right. But yeah, Mobb Deep basically talking about the fear of getting arrested, sent up north to do a bid. The hook is catchy as hell. And for me, like, it's not the best song on the album, but I still dig the hell out of it. This is another track that I skip at all. And last thing I just want to say, though, I didn't even know this till, I saw it on Genius. This was on the Don't Be a Menace soundtrack, though.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right. Like, I know it
Wait,
was
Don't Be a
Malin
Menace to South
South
Central.
Central, where drinking the
While
juice in the
drinking
hood.
the juice
Yeah.
in the hood. Okay.
Yeah, like I don't have a power with Malin. Sean get arrested for being black on a Friday, which is fucked up. But still,
Probably
like,
that's why they put
but
this
still,
there.
okay.
Okay.
Like, I'm familiar with the soundtrack, slightly, not entirely familiar with it, right? Like I remember, there was this song from Joe, "All the Things a Man Will Do," which was ridiculously huge back then. I remember Winter Wars was on that soundtrack, like,
Yeah,
alright?
when Wars was
Yeah,
on
because
that.
Winter Wars
When
ended.
Granny was driving, she was playing Winter Wars.
And it was in the end credits too. But
Yeah.
Up North Trip though, okay, all right. But anyway, but I still dig this song here. It's not the best song on the album, but I still enjoy it. Doe Boi, Up North Trip. Waiting.
Yeah. Again, oh, and another track that I like, because like all the tracks that I like is right around this area.
Right.
So yeah, another track that I like. They're talking about going up to Rikers.
Yeah.
Going up to Rikers, getting locked up and going to Rikers to Clinton. And again, storytelling at its best was basically breaking it down. And can't shake me with a good story.
Yeah, indeed.
Mm.
Mike, thoughts on Up North Trip?
Yeah, dope song. It's one of the overlooked songs, and I could understand why, because I mean it's surrounded by so many great songs, you know. So I understand a song might get overlooked there, you know. But dope beat. I love the drums on this. I love the subject matter and how they tackled it. You understand? So yeah, dope, solid track. Like I'll, spoiler alert, this album have no skips for me. So I don't skip
Same here,
any of
same
this
here.
shit.
Yeah, I do skip
So this is a dope, solid track. So yeah, Up
yeah,
North Trip, definitely dope. I love what they did with the
Yeah.
concept.
right. So next track we have is Trife Life. Now, first off, I love the sample that opens this song, Trent. I love that, right? It's from a guy called Norman Connors called "You Are My Starship," right? Why I love why I love that sample is because when it loop it and all that, right? It sounds so pleasant and heavenly, right? The back of your mind, you know something dark, something bad gonna happen, eh? But he just in this euphoria when you just hear this beat, right? And then the drums kick in, and like, all right, well, this is what I expected though. When that beat drop though, is like, yeah, this is Mobb Deep, true and true dread. Like it is so dark though, like dark as fuck as I must say. Everything about the song is grim though. The beat to the verses, and once again it's paranoia, but in the sense of, oh, setups the, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm with this girl. This girl want me to come down here, but I don't know if some guys wanna like, set me up, no, like kill me or whatever it is though. And that's just the whole vibe of it though, right? I love Havoc's opening lines where he says, okay, check it. You're on your way to your girl's crib, but the bitch live in the bridge. You ain't really sweating it, because little did you know the niggas in the bridge resetting it. You thought you were safe and tried to walk the back streets without heat on the 41st side of 12th Street, the side where niggas don't give a fuck, the side where if you come true front and kid, you get bucked. So just that whole attitude now, like, oh, I'm going from here today, I taking you somewhere, I going across there, dude, you gotta be careful, you know. You gotta walk with heat, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff now. And it just
Mm.
puts you right there in that mentality, though. And then, well, coupled with that dark, grimy beat, boy, is like, yeah, I feel this, right? And last thing I want to say, though, like, that's when you thought that vibe couldn't get any dark, though. That there was more Trife Life on Hell on Earth, though, and just that beat alone.
Mm.
Ooh, one of the best beats hands down on Hell on Earth, Dread. I love that beat. Even though it's pretty much Havoc just riding his beat solo. But yeah, something about that beat just sounds so apocalyptic in my opinion. But yeah, Trife Life, I love this song. I love the beat, I love the lyrics, I love everything about this. Micwise, thoughts on Trife Life?
Yeah, this is dope. As you say, when you talk about the sample at the start, I have the same feelings about that too. As I say, I like when you have like the different type of moods colliding. You
Yeah,
understand? So yeah, as I said, dope track. To me, I guess this is one of the other overlooked tracks on the album. But as I say, solid track. You know what Mob do? Like vivid imagery all throughout the verses. So yeah, dope track.
yeah.
True. Yeah.
Doughboy, is this one of your favorites?
Yeah, again, we in the bracket are all my favorite tracks on the album. Um, we all been in this type of scenario in this track where you, they tell you watch see birds from that area. Even don't go there,
Yeah,
Dolo. Don't go there, Dolo. Don't go there by yourself. Better she can meet you somewhere, cause you might get snap.
yeah,
And again, storytelling. Again, storytelling.
yeah.
And how to
Storytelling for
break it
this.
down? Yeah, how to break it down? True masterpiece.
Yeah. Indeed, indeed. Next track we have is QU Hectic, right? The song takes a while to begin because you're hearing, you know, well, the infamous mob talk in the background, and well, actually, there's like this little scuffle that takes place, and then the beat kicks in. I love how even though the beat sounds kind of simple in the way how it's put together, it's still grimy as hell. And then you get like these grimy, equally grimy verses, I would say, from Mobb Deep, right? And essentially, you're just talking about, well, how hectic and unpredictable their life is, you know what I mean? Just how any day, anything can happen, you know what I mean? At the drop of a dime. I love how self conscious they are on this. So, they mention ever so often that they need to kind of slow down, you know what I mean? They had to kind of smell the roses, or I guess the gun smoke, or whatever it is, right? Um, but for me, like I say, like with Up North Truth, this is not the best song on the album. And like just referencing Mike for a bit here. Yeah, this is one of the more overlooked songs on this, right? But yeah, this is a song that I definitely don't skip. I actually love the hook for this, by the way. And yeah, this is just a solid track overall. Doughboy, thoughts on QU Hectic?
Yeah. It's a dope song, but again, it nah. See, after going through them four
Yeah,
placement, that is it, the placement by another song. What's that man? See, album placement. That was it. They put that too close to the slappers now.
right.
So I was be a little one and two one and I they may catch my breath track. It dope, but they may catch my breath track. I don't pay as much attention to it because again we now pass through 9 slappers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we now pass through 9 slappers. So and then we coming up to another slapper. So they need pause so I cause moment for me.
Right. I got you. Mike Wise, thoughts on QU Hectic?
This is one of my favorite beats on the album.
Yeah.
Like, um, this kind of haunts, and I don't even know how to describe what that sample is, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
Nah, it's
Then
quite
you
haunted.
have,
It's quite
yeah,
haunted.
that low tone type of thing. Then you
Yeah.
have you have this glass bottle hit.
Yeah, that
You know
ting,
what I'm
ting,
talking? Yeah,
ting.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That Yeah, definitely one of my favorite beats on the album. I think they are lyrically stronger songs throughout, but the beat alone, just the vibe of the song, does always get me hyped. So
Yeah.
this definitely is not a track I would skip, but I appreciate it a lot because of the production. You know,
Right, right, right.
Havoc did his thing with this
Yeah,
for sure.
he
Yeah,
did, he did.
yeah.
Right. Next track we have is Right Back at You. This beat is so dope, Jed. I love the beat for this, Jed. It just so hypnotic. That doom, doom,
Yeah.
doom. It just loops. It just keeps looping. You just like nodding your head to this, right? Now, whole song is dope in my opinion. Prodigy kill it, Havoc kill it, Cool's Face and Raekwon kill it, Big Noy kill it. They actually have him in the end and he kill it. Um, now, if I have
Nah,
one
this album
teeny,
was Big
teeny,
Noise coming
teeny,
out party, right?
I
Yeah.
know, right? Yeah, but Big Noise verse in this was fire, in my opinion. But if I have one teeny, tiny gripe, though, is the kind of tag team thing that Ghostface and Raekwon did. Like, what I wish they did is that I wish they had their own separate verse. Like, Big Noise have your own verse, Prodigy, Havoc, and you have Ghostface and Raekwon basically doing this kind of 80s style tag team thing. Like, I mean, they do it well. I mean, because they have such great chemistry together. I mean, you saw that with Oldie Bill for Cuban Links, right? But still, I wish they didn't have to do the tag team thing. I wish they had their own verse. They could probably complement each other here or there, but I just wish that they had their own verse separate to do their thing. But other than that, though, just other than that teeny tiny gripe, I mean, I love the beat for this. I love the hook for this. Verse wise, everybody kill it. And yeah, dope song overall. Just the tag team thing. I just wish, you know what I mean? Doe Boi,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
what are your
yeah,
thoughts
yeah.
on Right Back at You?
Uh, Again, dope track. No momentum, no started to build back up for me after, as I say, my little break from the track before.
Right.
But as you see, the tag team thing, I like track verses like that, but it goes to a record, get them the own thing.
Yeah.
No matter how it,
Well, well, sorry to cut you there, but I remember last, I mean, not recently, but another duo who does that very well is Gina Kiss and Styles P. They do
yeah,
that whole tag team thing very well in my opinion.
yeah, they do. It's absolute people that does do it good. The clips also do it good.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
but even though they do it good, it two good men and the track is basically 5 minutes, so you could give them a whole verse
I know,
each.
right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, get up something, man. But other than that, though, you still enjoy the tractor, right?
Yes, still enjoying my track, but as I say, my momentum now building back up
All right,
because as I
cool.
say, just my break done go on and right spitting all starting back to come.
All right, all right. Micwise, thoughts on Right Back at You?
Yeah, man. The beat sounds like the soundtrack to a murder scene in a movie. Dope beat. Everybody killed it. I think this is probably is my favorite Big Noid verse. I would think. Yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, I would too all on the Ray and Ghost thing. I like to hear them separate. I mean, as they sound good on tracks together, but only when they have their own verses. So that would be my only gripe. But other than
Yeah,
that, solid track still, man. That beat is just so haunting and so it's unsettling and
yeah,
disturbing. Is the perfect way to describe that, So and I mean
yeah,
that in a very good way, obviously.
yeah.
So yeah, another dope, unskippable track for me.
Right. So next off, we have the Grave Prelude. I mean, this is a skit, but I like how it just sets up the vibe of the next song. I like this personally how cinematic it is. Just basically, one of Mobb Deep's guys gets shot and the rain's
Mm.
falling. It's like, yo, you don't sleep on me, man. Don't sleep on me, man. Keep your eyes open. That kind of stuff, right? And then the
Mm.
beat slowly comes in, right? Which leads into Cradle to the Grave, right? I dig the dark atmospheric vibe of the beat, and then there's always this kind of like record skip thing, that sound effect that plays short It makes it even more. Yeah, I pick up on it too. I pick up on it. Yeah, that whole record his thing. This makes it feel even more ominous too. Um, and as I mentioned before, with Ghost Array, the tag team thing, Prodigy and Havoc actually do some tag team in here, but the catch is that they actually have a lot more lines, before they switch from MC to MC now. You know what I mean? So, but basically they're just telling a story. Well, I should say just storytelling in general. Just mainly about seeking vengeance and what I mean, holding down the friends who locked up or friends who died in the streets and all that kind of stuff, and just accepting the fact that, hey, this is your life, from the cradle to the grave. You know what I mean? This is easily, I would say, the bleakest track on this album. Um, I dig the hell out of this track here. Micwise, thoughts on Cradle to the Grave?
Yeah, E1 A1 storytelling. It's not my favorite beat on the album, but the lyrics show us I'll make up for that. So yeah, solid tracks too. Yeah, this thinking about, I never thought about it, but this might really be the bleakest track on the album.
Yeah, boy. Like there's no hope in this song at all, at all, boy. It's just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, he
Right.
get killed. All right, cool. We're gonna go for this guy. And then I think near the end, they kind of some guy was stitching on them, and they just realized, you know what, it don't even matter anymore because if we don't get at him, somebody else will. It's like, wow, that's how you're gonna end the song. Like, jeez, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doe Boi, what's your thoughts on Cradle to the Grave?
Again, yeah. I like the Batman Justice vibe of the track. We out here for vengeance.
Yes.
Understand? So the beat have a real eerie song. Like you can't explain it. It not like the other tracks them that it dark, but it just take. But this track just eerie. It not like just dark for being dark, since like this sample that they get itself was a spooky sample.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the track just had a ominous vibe to it, and then just the mind frame. Again, storytelling, love storytelling, and the
Yeah.
mind frame.
Storytelling for this was stellar, boy. Stellar.
Yeah, and just the going through and the way how they see it, everything. Again, top notch. Can't
Yeah.
complain.
Can't complain. All right, so next track though is actually one of my favorites. Drink away the pain situations, right? Why is one of my favorites is because it's how the mood changes for the on the album from bleak and dark to humorous but darkly humorous in my opinion, and relatable. Actually, I have a feeling you guys can relate to this in more ways than one, right? Um, yes, the beat it's upbeat, right? It's so that you could imagine, playing in a club or whatnot, right? But I just love how deceptively upbeat it is, right? Because there's always like a little sense of darkness, even though the beat is bouncy and upbeat, right? But whatever. Essentially, well, Mobb Deep do this. Well, I can't really say who's the first rapper to do this, but essentially, like, just taking brand names, so they using alcohol brand names and giving them identities there. So it's like, oh well, I was with this girl, E and G, and I was with her for years, right? I love that.
The first rapper that did that was Spice One.
His on his debut album, right?
Yeah.
What could he get to?
Now I can find
No,
it.
what could he get to?
I'll find the track and shoot the track, but I can remember that when he talked about Chin had to go to jail for killing but which album that was one, but Spice One was the first one to do it.
Okay. Yeah, and I just like the vibe that both Havoc and Prodigy had. Like, just talk about, some girl that they smashed back then, and I still like her, you know what I mean? So like where it says met her back in '89, she's 22, acting like she 40, get it 40 ounce. She says all I need is a man to support me, right? Then well, Havoc say my man P put me on to the show, the Hen Rock. The Hen Rock is strong enough to make your heartbeat stop. One sip I thought the bitch was a fucking warlock. The more she started giving me, the stronger I got, right? Now I'm an occasional drinker, but I mean it doesn't matter, because the song is just so upbeat and I don't want to say fun, but just because of how darkly humorous it is, that it still works. And lastly, I just want to say though, I mean the hook works for me. Q-Tip, he comes through with a really good verse though. I would say one of his most underrated verses ever in his career, right? And in this case, he talks about clothing brand names, right? And he just gives us this grand narrative that is a little hard to follow, but it's one of those verses you just had to kind of sit down and concentrate on what it is he's saying, eh? And then when you pick up on what's going on, it's like, yeah, this shit rang real hard, you know what I mean? And I remember, well, even on Genius, he mentioned, well, look, Mobb Deep talking about alcohol and, oh, what Q-Tip doing rapping about clothes all of a sudden? But they were so impressed by Q-Tip's verse that they just kept it. I mean, the man make the beat, right? So, whatever, let the man see what you want to see. But I think verse-wise, it is really it's quite clever, I would say. Not the best verse ever, but it's quite intriguing what he did there. That we really, when you think about it, it's quite smart, right? So overall, I think I dig the hell out of this song. It's a nice little detour from the darkness that we got so far on this album here. Micwise, thoughts on Drink Away the Pain? Is this a song that you can relate to? Or you're impressed by the song, or it's just something that's like, yeah, you skip it?
I appreciate it for being clever, but if I had to pick a least favorite on the album, it might be this. That being said, it's still a dope track. I still do skip it,
Yeah.
I like what they did with the metaphors about, alcohol brands. I know for a fact Prodigy was pissed because of Q-Tip doing his little detour on the
Right.
track, but they still ended up keeping the verse because it's Q-Tip, Yeah, dope track. I don't skip it by any means, but this probably is my least favorite. And I was saying something because it's still a dope song.
Right. Doe Boi.
Yeah.
Same thing, right?
Well, yeah, that dope song and whatnot. Um, a little melancholy, but you gotta appreciate it for what it is. You gotta appreciate it for what it is. Um, I will, me personally, I would prefer to hear more tracks like this now because, like, the wittiness with it, I could do with some more of that in this time and era. But for at that time, it was something common, and using drinking as the reference and using the alcohol brands them was something good at that time and well witty. So I appreciate it for what it is. It's a good track.
Yeah. All right. And now for the national anthem of Queensbridge, Shook One's Part 2. So let me just give my
Though
something right?
everyone that born after 99, the 8 Mile song.
Yes, yes, I was gonna say that. Yeah. Right. Like when they dropped that on 8 Mile, I was like, all right, well, okay. All right. Yeah. I love 8 Mile, but just the mere fact that that song was in it just make a great song even greater, in my opinion. And then, of course, as Havoc mentioned, well, with the Ambrosia Feds interview, when Kendrick Lamar, freestyle over it for the Cypher, the BT Hip Hop Awards. I forget which year it was. I think it was 2012 or 13 or something like that. Like when he now started getting big, actually, not back in like 2011 and stuff like that, but later on. I remember when he did a freestyle off of that, and it was like real hard. I remember um, one of my friends actually, because I actually posted the video up on Facebook. All my friends asking me, was anybody beat the? I was like, Shook One's Part 2, and I just sent them a link to watch the video. Like, but he's not from that era where we know how big that song was. You know what I mean? But just getting back to Shook One's Part 2. This is one of the greatest rap songs ever recorded. Everything about this song is great. How chilling and sinister the beat is. There's so much quotables on this talk of the realness, you know what I mean? Just nearly every bar in this is just quotable, right? The hook is epic in my opinion. I would argue and say this is the best Mobb Deep song ever. Agree or disagree? And just well, one thing I just want to mention too, because as I say, part two, right? So, as far as Shook One's part one go, right? I would say that part two has a more accessible beat. You know what I mean? Like it has this is a freestyle beat. This is a battle beat, right? And this is what adds to its timelessness, right? That yeah, it is kind of a battle song when you really think about it. But in this case, it's just addressing fake thugs now, fake MCs and all that. But yeah, talking about Shook One's part one, right? I do like the beat for this, but it's so incredibly dark and nightmarish. I just have a feeling that DJs were just scared to play this song there, because it just felt like Freddy was going into their dreams and killing them when this beat was going on, right? But in retrospect, I do like and respect the fact that Mobb Deep was able to do a sequel to this, right? Make the beat more accessible, kind of change up the lyrics a little bit. Well, I know Havoc changed his lyrics from the original one, but well, Prodigy was the one who changed his verses throughout, right? But yeah, I mean, not much more I could say. I mean, I Shook One Part One is something you should check out. Especially that beat though, the beat I really dig. But I mean, Shook One's Part Two, from the instrumental to the hook, to the lyrics, to the production, to sampling, everything about this song works. Right? This is just a timeless song. This is a masterpiece in my opinion. Doughboy, agree or disagree? Greatest song ever.
I agree. And now for some story time. Um,
Story
in an
time.
interview, yeah, in an interview, Prodigy said them outside the buildings, Havoc, making he beats them with the window open, and they hear this beat now. So Prodigy and Big Big DT run up the stairs and like, yo, where's that you playing? He like, man, this some bullshit. I gotta throw away this now. And like, no, no, keep it, keep it. So like they had he said like they basically had to go and save Havoc from deleting the most popular song.
Wow.
Hmm.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, Havoc didn't like it when he didn't make it, and it ended up being the biggest song that I ever had.
Yeah. Oh, and
But
one thing before I forget though, the song's so great, Dred, that even when they use it twice in 8 Mile, right? This is well the intro with M, you know what I mean, in the bathroom, and then of course the freestyle, which at that point in time I could have quote line for line. I don't know if I could still do it though, but it was just one of those moments that I just used to quote by because I just love that scene so much, right? So yeah, that's just a testament to how great that song was, right? But yeah, go on, Doughboy.
yeah, and then years, I tell you, like close to 15 years, nobody can find out what was the sample Havoc used to make the beat. All I know was one sample, but not the main sample. All I
Right.
could find was the siren. And
Uh,
Havoc ended up snitching on himself and getting out the sample.
Well, I guess so you might as well. I mean, how long you keep it a secret, right?
For real, facts. But yeah, well, let's aside from the stories, though, this is like anthem in hip hop. This is like dead wrong, Jigga my nigga.
Yeah,
Things that follow along these lines now, where as I hear the beat, hey, whoa, this is grind time. Everybody head sad nothing.
yeah.
Just
Or
it's
like in
just
8 Mile, everybody going, what?
yeah,
Yeah.
just the beat just ominous bars, them just mad bars. She started off with his stuff video with in the music video shouting out Hennessy on the hockey jersey.
Yeah,
Still one of them Hennessy hockey tees. Um this track is again it will be remembered as one of the in the top 10 hip hop best songs. and
I
Havoc
totally
nearly
agree
threw it.
there,
Yeah,
man.
and Havoc nearly threw it away.
Yeah, boy. All right, so Mike, thoughts on Shook One's Part 2? I mean, what more can be said about Shook One's Part 2?
I mean, you all said enough. Like, yeah, one of the most iconic songs. Period. You know, I remember being mesmerized by this beat here and this, hearing the beat so many years ago. And just the, I can't say they have quotable lines because the whole verse is quotable. You don't just quote one line and done. Like you had to just quote the whole verse. Prodigy verse especially. You
Yeah,
understand? And iconic visuals to go with it too. You know. As Doe Boi say, everybody remember them with the Hennessy jerseys, with the
yeah,
plastic cups.
yeah,
Yeah, so iconic visuals, iconic beat, one of the best beats of all time, some of the best verses, and yeah, that's one of the best songs. Period. This could even be a top five hip hop song of all time for me. It's
yeah,
a
most
anthem.
definitely.
As they say, it's the Queensbridge national, not national, but the Queensbridge anthem.
Yeah. Now we get to the final track, Party Over, which I'll just say right off the bat is probably one of the best closing tracks to any album ever, in my opinion. It is so appropriate. It is so dark and menacing. The beat is just so unforgivably bleak, Trent. And what I love though is that it just fits perfectly with what we've gotten through the entirety of the album. And I don't know why, it has some kind of horror movie vibe to it though, like just the sample that they used though. And it like I just imagine it playing in some sort of surreal midnight movie, like some movie you watch like late at night and seeing weird imagery. Just have that kind of weird sample to it, right? But
Mm.
essentially Prodigy, Havoc, and Big Noy just rapping about hey how a party could end either with fists or with guns, right? And I love how they just stick to the point. It's just so gutter, it's so grimy, and it's just brilliant. It's just overall brilliant, shit. And yeah, I mean, the party done. The party over, the album's
Mm.
over. To me, just a perfect way to end this pitch black album called the Infamous. Micwise, thoughts on Party Over?
Party Over is one of the beat for that is one of my personal favorite beats. So I'm gonna start by saying that. The drums on that some of the best drums I've ever heard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Simple beat, but it's just so haunting, and I love how they have this as the last song to end the album,
yeah,
to end the party. Talking about it. It's perfect. It's perfect. The verses, all of them killed it. I love Noid and
Yo,
Prodigy on this specifically.
yeah, yeah. No, I kill
And
it in
yeah,
particular, man.
yeah, no,
Noid, yeah,
yeah, no, it's
Noid.
sure fun.
And yeah, as I say, Party Over is one of my favorite beats of all time. Personal favorite, that is.
Oh, nice, nice,
So
nice,
yeah,
nice.
dope way to end the album, man.
Yeah. So, boy, do you agree that this is the perfect way to end an
Yeah,
album?
it
Period.
is the perfect way to end the album. This is like when they let it know, like, okay, this could either end one way or the other. Like, we could all go home or the place can get shut up.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, and as I say again, we all been to parties like that. Mike Vegas.
For sure. For
Yeah, we
sure.
all been to places like that, so we know it can. I know you can leave respectfully or had a scamp out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So again, perfect way to end off a grimy album.
Yeah, boy, definitely, definitely, definitely. So as I mentioned before, the Japanese edition that I talked about, right? So they have a bonus track, which is just essentially a remix to Survival of the Fittest, right? Um, the original, just to get all the way, the original is better. But the remix, well, Crystal Johnson's also on this too, right? She was on Temperatures Rising, the original and the remix, right? And she has like these soulful vocals over it. But to me, with this track, why I want to mention it here is that it have this kind of end credit vibe to it. So it's the same lyrics from before, right? But there's an extra verse that Prodigy, I think it's Prodigy, right? Yeah, leaves at the end because this track runs for like about 5.5 minutes, I think it is, right? But the beat is soulful, a bit soulful, but it's still cold and dark and moody as you expect from from everything else from the Infamous, right? But yeah, if you're like a real diehard Mobb Deep fan, you probably heard this already. But if you haven't, I really recommend you check it out too. Like their remixes that they do for this and Temperatures Rising were really dope in my opinion. I think those are at least those in particular are songs that you shouldn't ignore, or at least you should check out, right? Especially if you enjoy the entirety of the Infamous. So that being said, so just final thoughts and rating on the Infamous, right? To me, this is one of my all-time favorite albums, regardless of genre. I love how committed it is to its vision, right? And it's not like we're being dark for the sake of being dark. This is the reality that we're at. We're laying you into this world. We're not trying to tell you, oh well, this is Dewey, right? Is that trying to make you choose? Oh well, you know what I mean, should we agree with what Mob Deeper rapping about on that? Like it's not about that, right? But essentially, this is the life that they've lived. This is the reality that they've lived, right? Whether they want to be out of it or whether they embrace it, that's up to you. But we just putting you head first into this world and just making you feel everything about it, right? This is to me what makes this album works. Stand out so well now. Um, Production from top to bottom is excellent in my opinion, near flawless in my opinion. Um, Lyricism, near flawless in my opinion. To me, really, what makes this album work for me personally is just the tone of it, just how it sticks to this dark, ominous, um, apocalyptic, I should say, tone, and it just sticks with it, Dread. It doesn't compromise for anything, right? It doesn't act as if, oh well, we have to have a radio song here, or we have to have like a song for the ladies here. I mean, like it just sticks to that vision, and there's variety in it. It's not just one note being played throughout the entirety of this, right? Havoc really showed his skills on the boards, and of course, lyrically as all that. Prodigy proved himself to be one of the best rappers, in East Coast hip hop, or I should say, hip hop period with this. Q-Tip really, really shine on this as well. Too. And then, of course, the guests. I mean, from Raekwon to Ghostface to even Big Noid and Nas, everybody came through and did their thing. It's almost like everybody came in, knew what they were going for, and just committed, right? And I mean, not much more I could say. Rita Wise, I give this a strong 4.5 out of 5. I love this album. I love this album to get to death. Please listen to this album before you die. And I hope this is not the last album that you do listen to before you die, because that's kind of a messed up way to go. Like I will not want to this. I don't want this to be the last album that I listen to before I pass away. Like swear to God, I really
Yeah.
don't. But this is hands on a masterpiece of East Coast hip hop, masterpiece of 90s hip hop, just a masterpiece, period, in my opinion. If you've never checked it out, I mean, please listen to this, Red. And if you haven't listened to this in a long while, please check it out. And just to close things off, because yeah, this album still holds up. Yes, it's a 95 album, true and true, but yeah, this album still holds up 25 years from now. And I can't wait to see if it still holds up, I don't know, 30, 25 years from now, and so on. Micwise, last words of rating on The Infamous.
Yeah, this album was cinematic, and I love my rap to be cinematic. Like the rap
Same here,
music I
same
listen
here.
to, I love when it just feels like a movie. You understand? And you know, Big used to have that a lot. Jay obviously, and this album, Mobb Deep in general, but this album especially felt like a movie. It felt like the Infamous feels like a kind of alternate universe, even though it's reality, is like it feels like this you're being transported into this other dimension in Queensbridge, where everything is just dangerous.
Yeah, and hellish, right?
Um, yeah, I like how you say they were not dark for the sake of being dark, because I think it would be easy to tell if somebody just saying shit for the sake of shock value, and we could tell, and that's kind of corny, but you could tell that everything came from a real place. um, Havoc behind the boards is an inspiration. I think if you want to get into producing hip hop or even just producing, like you need to listen to this album.
Yeah.
because what he did, nah, like in terms of just setting a tone, finding samples, the drums on this was nasty. He made anthems on this. It was ridiculous. Q-Tip too, like Q-Tip's, I think it's 3 songs he did. Q-Tip's 3 contributions, dope as hell too. As I said before, like he had a role to play in kind of like mentoring them and preparing
Yeah.
them to make this album. So shout out to Q-Tip. All the guests did their thing. As Doe said, this was a big Noid coming out party. Nas was there with one of the best features of all time.
Hmm.
Ghostface, Raekwon was there twice. Q-Tip himself. So like everybody played their role on this album. Everybody knew what they had to do, and yeah, this is a perfect album. This to me is classic. This I get this the 5 out of 5. So yeah, The Infamous, one of the best hip hop albums of all time.
All right. Just want to use this as a segue before we get to Doughboy's final thoughts, right? I could be wrong with this too, but I see like the influence of this album kind of showing up in like stuff from say Griselda, you know what I mean, like West Side Gun, Conway, Benny the Butcher. But one artist too, maybe you could tell me if I'm wrong, Mike. Ka. Like I find like
Yeah,
his music,
yeah,
like
yeah,
especially with
yeah,
how nocturnal they feel, like those feels like you're in
yeah,
some dark corner
yeah.
or you're just like
Feels
out in
the
the street two
same.
o'clock in the
Yes.
morning and you
Yeah.
don't know who gonna come, who gonna murk you, whatever. Like I
Yeah.
feel like the infamous and just in the 90s, or I should say the early Mobb Deep stuff, except for Juvenile Hell.
Mm.
I feel that
Mm.
was like integral to Kaz, music, his style now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah. For sure. It's the same kind of
Yeah,
tone, the same kind of
Mhm.
cinematic universe, if you want to like call it like that, because his music and
exactly.
all this feel like a movie, you know?
Yeah, and then of course, well, Griselda with what they're doing
Yeah.
right now, this is yeah. I mean, you could argue it's every bit like what Mobb Deep was doing back then, right? So,
Mm.
Doughboy, final thoughts and rating on the Infamous.
Yeah. During this time, Prodigy had Mobb Deep had an interview, and the dude asked them, well, introduce yourself and tell people what you all are about. And Prodigy said, we are Mobb Deep, and we are about pain and death.
Wow, real concise way, real concise.
And that always sticks with me in my head. And then he explained, so the man asked like, why pain? Like, I'm born with sickle cell. Every day it's pain for me to walk and just do stuff. And why that? Every day each one of us know somebody that died, and that what we represent, pain and death. And after hearing that, I could understand the album more,
Yeah,
because that what they are wrong. As I say, not being dark for being dark sake. It's just being dark because that your element.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
As much as people will say, well, it has other things to say, talk about and stuff. No, that what they know. All they know is the darkness, so they'll talk about darkness. And it not just talking about it in the whole song. Everything about them was just darker than everybody else. And that became the call card that if it was dark, hip hop, Mobb Deep, it just bring. And I'll tell people that like the production on this was A1.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
rhymes on it, again A1. But the timing of the album was the best. Because if this had come out in 94 with Ready to Die, it would have fallen. But
that's actually a real good
Ready to
point,
Die
though.
and Illmatic and everything, see, if
Mm.
all of that was stuck together, uh, the album would have just fizzled. So the year it came out was perfect fit. How I am with track placing, this whole album was placed very well.
Yeah.
Everything runs smoothly, and can't really complain about this album. This is a masterpiece. It deserves the 5 mics that it got. I will give it 5 stars because it is a masterpiece and should be on every hip hop fan listen this. Either listen to it now, listen to it sometime in your life. But you have to listen to this album.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. Totally agree. And just in closing though, like I said before, I do see this lasting test of time, and I see this will influence more, rappers, you know what I mean, to just bring people into their world, you know what I mean, and just have people feel the way they feel and just give them experience basically. And that's really what we got with the Infamous. All right. So with all that being said, Micwise, where can we find you online, man?
Well, all right. Before we do this,
Uh-huh.
since we're talking about Mobb Deep, we know we have I think they confirmed the next versus battle, Havoc versus Alchemist.
I saw Doe Boi post this, but I was looking to see if it was official or not. So it's official, right?
They don't have a time and date yet, but I believe Havoc and Alchemist agreed to it already. So
All right. Well, that needs to
as
happen.
we talking Mobb Deep, I
Yeah.
don't know if you all wanna quickly just choose a winner.
Alchemist.
You think Alchemist wins over Havoc?
Yeah. But then again, because I like Alchemist's current work, right? I mean, if
Yeah.
we thinking about like when he started off now compared to when Havoc was doing his thing,
Yeah.
Havoc. But still, I'm a Alchemist fan, so I will stick with Alchemist.
But I probably have Alchemist higher in my overall producer rankings, so
Right.
I'm there. But in this song for song thing, like I don't know what Alchemist have to stand up to Shook Ones
Ah, okay,
or
okay.
Survival. If you like, as we talk
Yeah,
about anthems, now Quiet Storm, you know what Alchemist gonna play. Alchemist
yeah.
does
I
have
got.
he does have We Gonna Make It, in all honesty.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, Alchemist his production discography is solider, but
As far as battle songs is just
yeah. I don't know
yeah.
how Havoc
Again,
just have, you know.
it come down to how the playlist set, yes. Because we will get premiere over Riverside, how men play this set.
That's
That's true.
true. That's true. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. All right. So Mike, where can we find you online?
Micwise 88. That's MICWISE 88 on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and Micwise official on YouTube.
All right.
And they
Oh,
all check the YouTube first, cause that's where it's all the music. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Right. Doughboy, where can we find you online?
Yes, good job, Doughboy on Instagram. Doughboy hates you on SoundCloud.
Doughboy hates you. I love it.
Um, that's it for now.
All right. Twitter, Bear Beat Bailey. Instagram, Bears Beats and Bailey. Facebook, just look for my name, Matthew Bailey. I know that's a lot of Baileys. Along with a Legally Black blog official fan base, where you find the link to this particular podcast here, as well as Bears Beats and Bailey, which I do with Ricardo Medina. Shout out to Ricardo. And of course, Retrospect Reviews. All right. So, with that being said, I was just so glad that I was able to re-listen to the Infamous, and just glad it still holds up, man. So, if you have any thoughts on the album, if you think it still holds up, feel free to comment below and let us know. I definitely will be looking out for the Havoc and Alchemist versus battle. I hope to watch it in its entirety and not come in midway and then have to wait till it come out on YouTube or whatever, like what happened with Rizan and DJ Premier. And yeah, other than that, though, I mean, just hope
Oh
that
yeah,
everyone's
and another one that confirmed but no date is Diddy versus Dre.
Diddy
That's
versus
confirmed?
Drake.
Yeah, confirmed but no date.
Dre or Drake?
Dre.
Oh,
Dr. Dre.
Dre. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I thought it was Drake. Like what? Like what? Drake do I not else better to do? Like drop random tracks that whatever. But anyway. Yeah. And just to all you listeners out there, I mean, hope you guys are doing well. Given this whole COVID-19 pandemic. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, not much more we could say until the next one. So once again, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever this is. This was Match Bailey
Doe Boi.
and
Micwise.
and we are signing off from another episode of Retrospect Reviews. So until the next one, take care. Rest in peace, Prodigy.
Rest in peace, Fred the Godson.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Rest in peace to Fred the Godson as well. Yeah,
And
man.
prayers up for Scarface. I don't know what's happening whenever this comes out, but prayers up for Scarface.
Scarface.
Yeah, indeed, man. So till the next one, peace.